For example, this is your table. Okay, assume this. In this table we have some columns. Now some columns are there, like for example employee ID column, employee name. Okay, so employee salary, and these columns are having some information here. Okay, having some data, ID, name, and salaries. Suppose just one sample table you can take. Now what I want to do now, suppose these table columns information. Okay, generally when we want to store some value into variable, what we did yesterday, one variable we declared here. After declaration, x is equals to some value. So it means what now? We are storing 10 value into which variable? X variable. So we are storing like this. So this is what now? First I'm declaring X variable with some data type, and after that to this X variable I'm assigning some value. This is directly we are storing the value into X. That means here what it was happen. Okay, on the name of X, it was allocating some memory. In this memory, are you storing how much now? 10. Okay, this is what we did last session. But now what is my requirement here? Now this time I don't want to save values. I want to save values. Okay, which values? A particular column values I need to save. A particular column values I need to save. Okay, that's ID or salary, okay, name. So any one specific column data, if I want to store into variables, so how I can store it in PLSQL? So here so many people what they thought, sir, can I do like this or not? Suppose same as suppose EID column values I need to store. Which column? EID. EID column is which data type? Integer data type. So now my variable is also X integer. So X is equals to what the people will think EID. X is equals to what the people will think EID. So they're thinking like that. Okay, no? So that it means what, as a fresher, as a learner, what we are thinking that EID column values I'm storing into X variable. Okay, so because of reason, how you want to storing your 10 value into X, same as in place of 10 is a value, in place of value, what I am using here? Column name. Okay, now, but this is not correct. This is not correct, and this is not supported. Okay, you cannot store a particular column values into variables like directly not possible. Then how I can store, sir, my particular column data I want to store into particular variables? How I can do this? Means there is a one syntax is there. What is this here? Select into statement. So select into statement, by using of this statement I can store which required, that means whatever you wanted, which columns values you want to store, those particular columns data I will take and store into variables. And if you do like this, I have to use what now? Select into statement. So now that is what I'm going to telling. Select into statement is using to storing a table columns values into variables. What we are storing here? Columns values. And this statement is always returns single value, otherwise only one row data will returns, otherwise one column value is only returned, that is single value. But more than one row, more than one value will never return. The nature of select into statement is what now? It always return either single value or single row from your table. Okay, and this select into statement mostly we are using under which block? Execution blocks. We can't use this under declarations blocks. Under exception blocks we cannot use. This can be used into which block? Execution block only. Okay, now, and now what is the syntax? Here, careful observe syntax. Suppose yes, you have a table. My table name is equals to, suppose a test is my table now. In this table, I have your 2 columns I'm going to maintain, or 3 columns I'm going to maintain. What is my columns here? For example, serial number, okay, SN number, and some name here, and some LOC. Suppose these 3 columns data, if I want to store into variables, then what we want to do as per this syntax, careful observe, how to write a select column name, which column? Serial number, okay. Next, name, next, location. So these columns values storing into some variables. I'm declaring some variables are called as what? X comma y comma z. Here x comma y comma z. What it is? Variables. So your serial number, it means what it was, understand here. Serial number column data I'm storing under X variable. Name column data I'm storing under Y variable, and location column data I'm storing under Z variables. Are you understanding now? This is the way how many columns, informations or data you have to save. And required column, not all columns. Suppose you have to one column only mention. 3 columns, 5 columns, 5 columns. So how many columns values you need to store into variables? Okay, that column should be selected. Okay, after selected here, let me see. So after selected here, select what is now serial number, some name, some location, storing into X comma Y comma Z. Okay, na? Now tell me, now whatever the columns are you retrieving here, these columns are you retrieving from where it is here? From so-and-so table. Now you have to write a so-and-so table. What is my table name? What is my table name? Test. Okay, now then after what now? Suppose which conditional base, this is where class condition is a optional. Okay, if you are just leave like this here, nothing problem. Okay, otherwise you need to get a specific row or specific column data, then you have to use a where. Suppose where, suppose I'm saying your serial number is equals to 1. It means what it was happen, the employee whose serial number is 1, that person, what I'm going to retrieving, that person, I'm retrieving what? Number, name, and location. So these are storing into the corresponding variables. The corresponding variables, I'm going to save this. Okay, so now tell me, now if I'm asking serial number 1, okay, or user or employee data, where it is now? Check it out. Serial number 1, employee details, where it is now? Into XYZ. Yes, XYZ. So those XYZ, what next I have to do? I have to print. How to print? DBMS underscore put underscore line of X concatenation Y concatenation Z. Got it my point now? So this is the way how you need to fetch data from a table or some particular table or entire table, how to fetching data from your table and storing into particular columns, and those columns finally how I can print on my screen. Okay, now so that means one point should be remembered. Whenever you need to retrieve some data from a table by using of PLSQL language, then you can't directly write like this. One more important point also I will explain to you. Generally in SQL language, what we did, if I want to retrieve data from table, what is the syntax? We are writing select a star from so-and-so table name. Yes or no? So this is actually select command. And by using of this select command, I can retrieve my information from the table. So which table data you wanted, you can fetch it. But in PLSQL, what it was happened, this select statement is not supported. Understand now? So that means what you want to understand here, select query, I can't use under PLSQL blocks. It doesn't allow to you. Okay, so that is the reason what the people will do. How this select query we are using in SQL language for retrieving complete data or retrieving specific raw data, how we are using the same to same. Okay, I'm using in PLSQL. What is this? Select into. So select into is working just like a select query in SQL. Okay, but this is why this was introducing by people, means that your PLSQL blocks are not supporting what now? Select a query. Select a query you can't directly use in your PLSQL blocks. That's why in place of select command, and in place of select command, I'm using which command? Select into command I'm using. Okay, na? I'm using what? Select into command I'm using. Okay, but select query directly you can't. Okay, if anybody asks you, if I want to retrieve some data from a table by using of PLSQL language or by using of PLSQL block, then how I can do this? Means you have to tell them select into query. Don't tell them select a star from table. Tell them select into table or select into query. Okay, na? Right. So that is the way I'm going to retrieve my information. Okay, and this is the importance of a select into statement in PLSQL. Data, which purpose? Fetching purpose, retrieving purpose, reading purpose. Purpose is same, but the different syntaxes. Okay, right. Okay, right. And this syntax how to use here, let me come out and see. It is one program. My program is what now to display or fetch number and name. Okay, sorry, name and the salary details from EMP table as per the given employee number by using of what now select into statement. Okay, so generally the same statement, suppose in your SQL language, suppose you need to write, there is not programmatically, here I'm just writing in the query format. So what I write here, selected columns, you will be take it and from your table. So then as per your given employee number, suppose I'm giving some employee number is 7788. So let me see, I got it now. This is in SQL format. Okay, data fetching. But the same format of query I cannot use under PLSQL. So suppose the same requirement if you want to fulfill in PLSQL language, then PLSQL is what now? Not query language. It is a programming language. So that means whatever the data I'm getting now here, the same data now I want to get by using of PLSQL. Then how I can write my program. Okay. So now we can see this. Now, first of all, I need to declare some variable X. Okay, e name I wanted. E name is which type? Varchar2 type. So, okay, one variable is declared. Okay, y which purpose? Salary purpose. Salary is which type? Number purpose. Okay, the two variables I declared. But actually, the employee name and salary, these two columns values or data, where it is in your EMP table. So from there you have to retrieve. Okay, na? How to retrieve? Select which column, name, comma, salary. These two columns data where you want to save X, comma, Y. And these two columns are you retrieving from which table? EMP. As what condition? EMP number is equals to 7788. Okay, and now what we did here, your required columns, whatever you wanted, those columns are you retrieving from the table EMP as per the given conditional value. Okay, after retrieving those values and those columns values, again I'm storing into, where I'm storing into X, comma, Y. Okay, so that means 7788 employee name and salary. These two columns values are I kept into X, comma, Y variable. So that's why what we want to do, those variables I need to print. How to print? DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line of X, concatenation, comma, concatenation of Y. Is it clear? Now finally end execute. Now you got it, Scott, comma 3000. What in SQL language, how we get it here? Same as in a PLSQL. But now the format understand, in SQL we are using select query, so directly we can retrieve from the table. But the same requirement when I have to do in PLSQL, it's not directly we can't retrieve. First, you have to retrieve the data from table and those values store into variables. And from the variable, you want to print. Okay, na? So this is what PLSQL, this is SQL. That's why SQL is called as what now? Query based language, we called. And PLSQL is called as what now? Programming based language. But both are same. Okay, but that is query dependable. This is programming part. Got it? So now, but okay, sir. But in this, I have some little bit modification I have to do. For example, here are you declared your variables like X, Y, Z, A, B, C, okay, M, N, O, P, Q, R, like you declared. But whenever you want to declare a like X, Y, Z means how the people will knows that this X column are you declared for which column data storing purpose? Your Y column are you declared for which column data storing purpose? So this is a little bit confusion to the programmers. Okay, now. So that's why what the programmer will do, instead of they're taking XYZ or ABC, their variable names also they declared with the column names. Okay, when I declared with the column names, then I can understand that this variable is used for so and so column data storing purpose. So that kind of identification will be easy to the clients as well as programmers. Okay, so there's so many people in real time, what they will do, they will not using like this, they will declare their variables are like this. So how to declare? First, v means variable. This variable I'm declaring for which column? Ename column. So my column name I'm taking as a variable name. And which data type? Varchar2. Okay, next, v underscore salary. So salary, and it was taking what? Number. Okay, then after, now you can tell me by seeing of this, by seeing of these variables, okay, will be like this. Okay, then can you understand these variables for which column purpose are you declared? V underscore ename I'm declaring for ename column purpose. V underscore salary I'm declaring for salary column purpose. But in place of this x comma y, if I take n, then so many people will be confused. What is x? What is y? Okay, na? So X is, are you declared for employee number, employee name, job, MGR, higher data, which column purpose you declare in the table? So that is confusion. So why also are you declared for which column? EMP number column, salary column, commission column, department number column? Because these are all our number data types. Then which column purpose are you declared this Y variable? So that kind of confusions are occurred. That's why in real time, what they will do, they will take their variable along with the column name wise. If I declare like this in my table, hundreds of columns are there, I don't mind. But this column or this variable I'm declaring for which column? Name column. This variable I'm declaring for which column? Salary column. So that is easy to identification. That's it. But sir, I always be write like this means no need, right? So you have to use like x comma y also, no problem. Okay, na? But this is what the user understandable, human understandable format we are going to be writing. That's it. And now, after that, as usual, begin. And which columns you have to take? Name, comma, salary. Where you want to store now? V underscore ename, comma, V underscore salary. From which table? EMP. But in the previous, one more problem is there. In previous, in my where class condition, I directly assigning some value. Which value I was given? 7788. So 7788, some value I was fixed here. It means that in this program, how many employees salaries and names can I see? Only one employee name and salary only I can see. But remaining employees names and salaries I cannot check it out. So that's what we want to do. Instead of writing like this, EMP, what do you want to do? Where EMP number is equals to ampersandage of EMP number. Ampersandage means dynamic runtime level we want to enter. So in this case, what is advantage? Which employee number user input, that employee name and salary I can see it. Okay, na? So that information I have to print on my screen. DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line of V underscore name concatenation comma V underscore salary. And after that, enter and see dynamically asking to you enter value for EMP number. Now I was enter. I got it. Suppose you have to see another employee. So 7369. Another employee, I can see this. If I want to see another employee, so again I want to execute. So what do you want to say? 7900. Okay, so like different employees details I can check it out and see it. Okay, suppose sir, if I'm giving this, okay, if I'm giving 1122 employee was there? Is there or not there? Not there. Not there means what it was showing here? No data found. So it was showing error. What is my error here? No data found, because 1122 employee information is not found in your EMP table. Okay, na? This is the way you can go to check each and every employee details. Okay, so these are the two modifications only I did. One is Whenever you want to declare your variables, the variables should be declared into human understandable format. You have to declare, and here dynamically my employee number I will accept it. Okay na? And which number user will input, based on that number, that person details only I am showing. Okay na? Right down below. Okay, right. So now this is how we can go to fetching your information. Okay, now, but here in this, there is one problem is that, okay, what is the problem here? Absar? Suppose this is your program. This is your program. Okay, now carefully observe. This is my program. In this program, okay, there are two variables, whatever I was declared. These variables I declared along with the suitable data types I'm using now. So as per your table, in your table, your employee name column, which type of data type, the data type I'm passing here, and salary is which type of data type as per your table that I'm going to passing. Okay. So that means based on your column data types, the corresponding variables, whatever we declare for those columns, the corresponding variables data types as well as your column data types must be matched. Then only this program can be compiled and execute. Now, for example, now careful observe. Initially in my table, ename is a varchar2. Varchar2 of a subsize. This is in my table column. That means in my table, this column data type is what now? Varchar2. Okay, here this column data type is varchar2 here. And on this column, I'm creating one variable, and that variable is a v underscore ename. And this variable data type is also varchar2. Now tell me, this both the data types are matching now? Matching now? Yes, matching. That's why there is no confusion by your server, also not confused. The server will successfully compile. But suppose, let me see, if anybody come to you or else yourself, what you did for this ename column data type, you changed in your table. Data types are changed. Suppose are you changed as a integer now, for example. Okay, integer now. Now, this time, ename column data type. Your ename means don't fix ename, some X column. You can think like that. Some X column or ename column data type is what now here? Integer. But this corresponding column variable data type is what now here? Varchar. Now tell me, your variable data type, column data type, matching or not matching? So that means here it was showing conversion problem. Yes or no? Yes, the type conversion problem is occurred. So now, again, now this program I need to execute. I want to execute this program means what we want to do. This entire program again have to rewrite because it is an anonymous blocks. So rewrite. In rewrite case, what I'm doing again, v underscore ename is equals to integer. Now so and so statements I'm going to writing. Okay. So now what happened? Now this program executed. Now this program executed. Yes, because your column data type, your variable data type again matching. So program executed. But now in the future, again someone is came and they was changed as again varchar2 data type. Then what happened? This program execute? No, this is not execute. Why, sir? Because here integer, now my column is varchar2. So again, I have to execute this program. Again, what we want to do? Again, we need to write a one more time program. So again, one more time, you need to write v underscore ename is equals to varchar2. So now the program is executed. Yes, executed now because same data type. But in the future, if someone is came, and they are using data type is called as a data. Now tell me, now this program executed? No, it is not executed. Again, we have to re-declare again. So that means what you understand, if I'm using data types at the time of variable declaration, or if I declare my variables with the data types, what it was happened, that variable corresponding column, whatever it was there in the table, if that data type If that data type anybody change, then your entire program is affected. Affected or not? Yes, your entire program will be affected. So that means if anybody they change your column data type in a table structure, then that will be affected on your program. Yes or no? So then how I can overcome this problem, sir? Okay. To overcome this problem purpose, the people was introducing here anchor notations. What is that? Anchor notations. Otherwise, you can call it as a variables attributes we called. So these variables attributes are anchor notations. What is the advantage to the programmer? Means that, now careful observe. Now anchor notations I'm using in place of data types. So that means programmer is never use data types at the time of a variable declaration. In place of this, they are using what now? Anchor notations. They are creating one anchor notation that's called a variable attribute is I'm declaring now. What is my variable attribute here? Okay, suppose table name. So table name is what now? 1 second. In place of this, now I'm declaring attribute 1. And in place of this, I'm declaring attribute 2. So whenever you declared your variables, whenever you want to declare your variables with the anchor notations, if you declared your variables, then advantage of programmer is what now? Means that you can see. Suppose in your table, ename is having which data type? Varchar 2. So that means this variable, whatever you declared here, this variable, are you declared for which column? Ename column. Ename column in your table, what is the data type? Varchar 2. This Varchar 2 automatically save in your attribute memory location that is called as what now? Varchar 2. Okay, now? So that means now tell me, now v underscore ename variable, which type? Varchar 2. In your column name is also Varchar 2. Data type matching a different matching. So program executed, successfully executed. Understand now? Now see, in the future, if someone is came, what they change? Varchar 2 data type 2, they change as what now? Integer. Then what it was happening? Automatically in your attribute memory, Varchar 2 is there na? Here also this is a automatically replace with what now? Integer. Now tell me, my program can execute now? Or else again programmer want to rewrite again? Rewrite again? No need? No redeclarations of variables? Not necessary? Same program executed? Yes. Because again data types are matching. Nothing problem. Suppose someone is came in the future. Again this will be changed integer to data. What it was happen? Automatically your ename variable, ename column variable attribute memory also change as what now? Date. Now again my program is execute. Yes. Having any effect here? No. So this is what now? Anchor notations advantage. Understand now? Right down below. Text hiding, variable attributes or anchor notations. Now you can see whatever I was explained here, that was written. Variable attributes are used in place of data types. See, in place of data type at what? Variable declaration. That's the first point. Second point, see what it was happened. Whenever we are using variable attributes, Internally, Oracle server is allocating some memory for these variable attributes for storing the corresponding variable column data type. Okay, na? The variable corresponding column data type will be stored. Okay, and which was assigned at the time of table creations. Okay, then later what we said, variable attributes also called as a anchor notations. And now what is the advantage, sir? The advantage of variable attributes are, this point is highlighted. Whenever we want to change a particular column data type in a table, then the corresponding column variable data type also changed. In which memory? Variable attribute memory automatically. That's why my program will never affected. Okay. These are how many types of attributes? Column levels and row level. Okay. And differences what we will discuss. First, I'll take this point. Okay, right. So these are two level, column level and row level. So column level, row level difference is what now? Careful observe. First, column level syntax you can see. You can go for variable name and table name dot which column. For which column purpose you declared your variables, the column name, and percentile type is going to be representing column level attribute syntax. So now see v underscore ename, v underscore salary. So in place of data type, I'm using attributes. Okay. So now we can see the same program. I'm not changing anything here. So previously we designed with the data types. Now I'm going to design now. So have to go for this. So declaration, and in place of this emp, this variable I'm declaring for which column? A name and percentile type. Got it my point now? Emp dot a name percentile type. Next, the same as v underscore salary. Emp underscore which column? Sal. Percentile type. Okay. Then after begin, remaining as usual, e name comma salary into v underscore e name comma v underscore salary. And these two I'm taking from emp table. So where emp number is equals to am percentage of emp number, and dbms underscore output dot put underscore line of v underscore ename concatenation comma ename concatenation comma salary. Then after end to execute now. So same as 7900, then it was showing your output. Okay, so that means what I change here, in place of data types, I am using what now? Attributes. This is called a column level. And in this, why this is called a column level means, can you observe each and every column variable purpose individually, I'm creating this variable. Yes or no? So name purpose, one. Salary purpose, one. Suppose in this also we have a one problem. For example, in my EMP table, okay, according to my table, how many columns are there? 8 columns are there. The 8 columns values we need to retrieve. That means entire row data I have to retrieve. So that means how many variables I have to declare? 8 variables I have to declare. Is it necessary? Hmm? Suppose your table is having 100 columns, then 100 variables. Are you declared 100 variables? No need, na? Hmm. So how you can overcome this means then we can go for row level. This is what column level. So column level, what it was happen? Each and every column wise, we need to declare a variable. If you have 100 columns in the table, 100 variables I need to declare. Now tell me, declaration of 100 variables for 100 columns is better, or declaration of one variable for 100 columns better? One variable for 100 columns are better. That is called as a row level. Okay. First write down column level. Then after I will show you row level. Take siding and write now. So take this same program, but in place of data types, I'm using variable attributes. Completed. Hmm. So this is what no column level, individual columns wise we want to declare. Suppose now your question is, sir, in my table there are so many number of columns are there. For example, I want to show you the table first of all. Okay, so this is what EMP table. In this table, how many columns we total here? 8 columns are. Now, this entire row data, if I want to fetch or if I want to retrieve from this table, generally in SQL language, what we are using? Star. We are using star. Select a star from table name. Star means all columns. Okay. So same as here also. So here we are not writing like this here. We are writing what now? Select into statement. But before you want to write that, first I have to declare variables. But here, how many variables I want to declare if I use column level attributes? 8 variables. So now instead of that, now I'm going to declare only one variable. And declaration of year I, EMP percentile. What is this? Row type. Row type. Row means entire the row. A row is nothing but group of columns. Can I say? Say or not? Yes, that's why I'm using percentile row type. Okay. From which table row? EMP row. So that means, it means what now? It means that in your table EMP, entire the row is having how many columns? These all columns data types are saved under which memory? I memory. Understand na? So one. Then after I will just declare begin. What I want to use? Select star. Star into where it is? I. Star into I. I from which table? EMP table. Suppose we need to use where EMP number is equals to am percentage of EMP number. Clear na? So now what next I have to do? DBMS underscore. Line of. So now tell me, your all columns are where it is here? In I. So that I reference. I dot EMP number. Concatenation comma. Concatenation comma I dot e name. Concatenation comma. Concatenation comma I dot salary. So like you have all columns you have to mention. But here somebody is asking, sir, instead of mention these all columns, can I use any one shortcut like that? So that is not possible. Okay, na? So you should be mention each and every column with a reference of I. There is no chance like that. I can use only one. Okay, na? So that's your wish. Okay. And now I'm displaying how many columns I'm displaying here? 3 columns. I'm displaying how many columns? 3. Like you have to 4th column. Then concatenation of 4th column. Concatenation of 5th column. Concatenation of 6th. If 100 columns are there, you need to print 100 columns data means you have to write like this only. Here there is no chance. Okay. Now I just give it this. Then after what I want to do? End it to execute now. Suppose I was entered. Then it was showing, see, 7788 number, name and salary. Okay. But here how many variables I declared? 1. Star means what? All columns. All columns purpose 1 variable. This is called as what now? Row level attribute. Okay. Right on below. Okay, and take this example here. Completed. Hmm. So this is the part of introduction to PLSQL. Okay, now right. And this basic information you should know it for going to main topics, and the main topics I will start tomorrow. Okay, now. So tomorrow onwards we are entering into the main advanced topics like cursors, procedures, exception handlings, collections. Okay, na? So triggers. These are we are called a main topics in PLSQL. So that we started on tomorrow. Okay, and this introduction part of complete notes also I'm going to upload for online students. Okay, I'm uploading this entire notes.